Senator Lena Taylor, I know some people that probably have voted once before, and a lot of people might be discouraged in voting now because of Donald Trump or whatever, but what are some of the reasons you believe some people don't vote?
Well, I know sometimes people say, well, my candidate didn't win, or I didn't get this, or I didn't get that. Look, in life, we don't get everything we want, but you still get up and breathe. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So voting is a part of the breath of what happens in the society around us with the money that get collected that's called taxes. Okay, so you can keep on giving your money and FICA and blah 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 and don't want your voice heard, but I'm saying let your voice be heard, especially if you in the majority, especially if the majority ain't being treated the way you think they should. Then at least speak up and say something. And I know that people also be on game with our community. They send out flyers sometimes telling people don't go vote, or telling people vote at this time and it's the wrong time. They do have people wear vests and come and they watch the voting, and they do things to challenge people, so people are going through a lot and then they don't want to vote. They got to go back and get their ID that they forgot. They ain't got no ID, and so they don't have one, or a lot of different things.
So people vote, I mean, the candidates will pull tactics.
Well, sometimes candidates will, sometimes the other party, so a lot of the legislation that's done, the laws that are done that say you got to have an ID to go vote, well, the Republicans put that in. Okay. Because they knew that it was going to mean some black folks, some Hispanic folks. Now, they would say that that's not why, but when we have a conversation that says this is the effect it's going to have, that this is what we know factually is going to happen from that. It's happened in other places. This is what we project is going to happen in our state, and they do it anyway. Then that was to have an effect on those communities. Those communities tend to be those communities that are impoverished, those communities that may not have an ID, those communities that, maybe they don't have a driver's license, maybe they can't afford an ID, maybe they lost their birth certificate, all those things. So when you do that stuff and then that person goes to vote and they need that ID, then they get frustrated. They be like, forget it, I ain't going back. Can't nobody be in the room to help make law, who understand your issues, who speak for you, if you don't even use your voice to say who should go. Ezekiel Gillespie was a black man who went to vote in Milwaukee in 1865. And Ezekiel was denied the right to vote. Now, Ezekiel didn't show out, he didn't cuss him out, he didn't do all that, but he was my kind of Negro. Ezekiel sued all the way to the Supreme Court of the state of Wisconsin, and he won. A unanimous decision, that means everybody, y'all, in 1866 to have the right to vote. So a black man in 1866 had the right to vote. It wasn't no Barack Obama on the ballot. There was no 40 acres and a mule, and there was no Lena Taylor on the ballot. But he still wanted to vote because he was a man and it was his right. And he fought for his right to vote. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand how in 2018, no matter what it looked like, because it had to be harder for Ezekiel than it ever is for anything that we could imagine, but he still wanted his right to vote. But in 2018, we did not show up to vote in February when we had a black man on the Supreme Court before. They did some nasty dog whistle politics, some racist stuff. That's basically what that means. And they did that, and that black man lost the seat. So now, how can we not make sure that the Supreme Court have people? And people say, well, my vote don't matter. You're right, it don't matter if you don't use your voice. Your vote is your voice. It represents you. That's all I'm saying. I get it that we often don't feel like it makes a difference, but it does, and it did for Ezekiel.